Tessa Virtue, and Scott Moir. Hello. Congratulations. You are much loved. You are much loved. So, I mean, I know you've been asked this before, but you can answer differently if you want here. Just how it felt, what the experience was like.
We did what we set out to do. We had 2 phenomenal skates, well, 4 pretty decent skates, but particularly our individual skates. We were so pleased and so in the moment, and I mean, that jig really says it all that Scott did after the show.
What is with that jig? I looked at the jig and I went, that is the guy who suddenly just went, it's over.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a little bit of my countryside coming in, I guess. There, that's what all my Illusion buddies said. That's what you do when you get partying. But no, I didn't know what I was gonna do after the program, and sometimes I visualize something, but I was so excited and a little bit relieved, actually, as Tessa talked about having that team event. We didn't really skate our best. We still skated well, but I thought that our whole Olympic experience was gonna kind of be like that. So to have a program and skate it as flawless as we did that short, I was just so pumped.
And you suppose you knew going in this was your last Olympics, right?
We lived it as if it was. Yeah. I think we assumed that it would be, if not our last season, for sure our last Olympics.
Did you talk to each other about it being your last?
For sure. And as Tessa talked about, like the lead up to the games was all about kind of smelling the roses and really enjoying the process. And when we got to the games, we just kind of stuck with that, and that really worked out well for us.
Your career has been so wonderful, and it comes to a close like this, but you can't stop skating. Certainly, you can't stop skating together, right?
Well, we're lucky that as skaters we have the opportunity to perform in shows like Stars on Ice, and we'll do some touring now and skate for us, skate for the fans, and skate without that pressure of pleasing any judges.
Right.
Without the rules.
Without the
Exactly,
rules,
yeah.
Can you explain the judging to me again, please? I mean, the 6-point thing, it was hard enough before.
You were gonna explain it to us.
Yeah.
I was hoping.
The judging thing to me still, especially because Canadians are naturally suspicious people. And then we're like, oh, a French reporter wrote that you guys were gonna get robbed, and then you guys skated this unbelievable performance, and then the guy that invents the move tweets that you did it better than the team that won, and then it was like the Finn, and then we're just like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. So do you actually, I mean, do you have a better understanding of what you need to do for judges and what judges are looking for? Or is it really arbitrary?
Yeah, it's really tough. Sometimes, and in the case like the Olympic Games, I didn't really feel like we knew, and that's our full-time job. I mean, we studied, and you know, our saying was leave no rock unturned. We did everything we could, and yeah, at the end of the competition, we kind of just sat back and just like, yeah, I have no idea why we're short 7 points, especially after the team event. I mean, there's never been that gap in our career. So to have that, it was really tough, because we knew in a week later, we were gonna have to somehow close that gap and hopefully surpass it.
Do you, so can you say things now that you're retired that you couldn't say when you were competing Olympically?
Well, we're not officially retired, so
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, but
Kind of retired?
Yeah. Well, since we're kind of retired,
Yeah.
I mean,
we're a lot more open, I guess.
yeah, I think so. You know, had we taken the ice with those suspicions in mind, we wouldn't have skated the programs that we did. So we were so focused on our goal, and little did we know that it was such big news back home. And
huge here.
now that we've been back in Canada, it's so heartwarming and so touching to get an idea of the response and the support that we've really received. And
So
I mean,
you guys
people
didn't
had
know?
our back.
You didn't know that was
No.
going on back here?
No.
We don't, like, I don't even use my cell phone at the games or go on the internet at all.
Right.
It's, I think we were really lucky. I mean, I pouted a little bit after the team event, but she brought my spirits up. That's the good thing about having 2 people.
The idea of it's so interesting when I watch Canadian athletes and figure skaters apologizing to Canada. It's such a neat thing, because I watch and I'm like, you just spent 4 years, you don't owe us anything, man. You nailed it, man. So what is that?
I mean, it's really nice to hear you say that, because I think we did feel like it was a disappointment for Canada, and we felt that pressure to repeat our title, and we wanted to bring home the gold, and you know, we thought that maybe people might be a little bit upset that we weren't able to do that. But you know, as I said, coming home and getting the support we've received, it's amazing. It feels like we won, to be honest.
And you know, there's still that conspiracy theory, so people think you have won.
Best of all.
Throw that in there.
So explain this to me, and only because, and I'm going to ask this question with no bias whatsoever, even though I have bias on it. The whole premise of sport is that we know that anything could happen. And we know that judge sports obviously will complicate it a little bit, but we still think, when I saw the same coach with competing teams, so I don't fully understand the culture of figure skating, but I was watching it as a viewer and I was like, I don't understand it at all. how that works. So explain to me the thing.
You know, looking back,
Yeah.
I'm closer to your line of thinking. I'm kind of like, how did we think that was going to work?
Right. It's very bizarre because I'm a naturally just trusting sports fan. So I'm like, wait a minute, and Russian, I don't understand this, right? But how?
Well, it's very interesting because we were with Marina before Meryl and Charlie were, even though, you know, we trained Detroit and they're American. And, you know, we've competed against each other for so many years, but until this year, it didn't feel like, I don't know, like it felt like we had the support. And
If you had a chance to do it again, would you do it this way?
yeah.
I don't think we can have any regrets.
Yeah.
No. And Marina, like, there was a lot of negative in the media after. We were trying to be extremely honest, but, you know, Marina has been there with us every step of the way, and, you know, she pours her heart and soul into our skating, so, you know, it's tough looking back now and kind of thinking, oh, where were you when we really needed you,
yeah.
but...
Yeah. So now that if you're not going to the Olympics again, we know that, right? So now that you know that, what is the very
Where are they in 2018?
Yeah, Scott thinks we might make a comeback.
I'm going back, baby.
Can
Why wouldn't I want to be there?
Why wouldn't you want to be there? Stick around, more with Tessa and Scott right after this.
All right, coming up, this may be creepy, but Tess and Scott get honest about what could be considered weird.
Gosh, it would be the coolest thing if we could all end up on that podium. I mean, just to be able to train with these guys and see how hard they work and know what they put into it, as well as being our best friends, it would just be a dream come true.
I believe most of it. That's from the National a few years ago. I believe most of it, but when the camera had panned up and caught you, it's like, oh, wait a second, he thinks he's calling bull right now. He's right now. Like, sports is about rivalries, right? And at the end of the day, some of those rivalries are real. Yeah. Is that a real rivalry where there's an element of dislike that goes on there?
I don't think personally there really is an element of dislike. We have very different styles. I think for ice dance, we kind of believe in different things, but, you know, Chucky and I are actually our buddies, and now that we're done probably with the rivalry part of our rivalry, it's loosened up a bit. And
so why not the Worlds?
Because I want to hang out on this couch.
Yeah.
Honestly, last time we did, when we won Vancouver, we weren't world champions yet, so we knew we needed to go and try and get a world title, and it was really tough to go back.
It really is. Anthropology time, all right? True or false? Siblings who are also ice dancing pairs weird you out a bit.
True.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah?
I think so. It's odd.
Is it odd?
I mean, I would never do the things that I do with Scott with my brother.
Right.
Which is funny because my sibling, Danny, skated with a cousin, and I still think it's weird. So I hope they watch this and I can, like, this is me telling them it's weirded me out for years.
Who's somebody you should say sorry to?
My family, I think.
Yeah. Why?
I think, well, if you knew me before the Olympic Games, man, they don't get to talk to me, and they only get me when I'm so sour I have no one else to go to. And they did such a great job of that, and my mom and dad that's who I would say sorry to first, but, you know, they just asked for nothing. It's great parents.
All right, who's more likely between you two to go skydiving? Buy a Groupon for belly dancing.
Oh.
Hopefully you. What do you mean, oh? Like, we have to think about that. I'm never belly dancing, ever.
Win the lottery.
Tessa.
Take
she wins roll up the rim all the time.
Oh,
so.
do you really?
I do.
Winner again?
It's
You know,
my
seriously?
favorite. I know. I love it.
What do you win?
I
Is
get
like another coffee?
abnormally excited for Tim Hortons coffee.
roll up the
and
rim
if it's roll up
season.
the rim, we got home from Sochi, and I was just like, what could be better?
Which one of you is more likely to take a vacation?
Him.
Star in a movie.
Her.
Get married in the next 12 months.
No.
Oh, FYI, this hand moved so quickly towards him, I didn't even finish the question.
It must be him over there.
Which one of you is more likely to survive a zombie apocalypse?
Me.
Oh, Scott,
Yeah?
for sure. I can't make my way out of this studio. I'm just so
You can't do it?
lost.
Well, listen, congratulations. Gold's wonderful, but silver in this context is wonderful as well. Two of them even better. And for a long time, you've allowed all of us to kind of enjoy it, and it's not lost on us how much we appreciate what you've done. Congratulations.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much fun.
Tessa and Scott Moir, we'll be right back. I mean it, man.